All right, now we move to another issue, and that is we saw the vice president join other, I think about 49 countries. Representative were in St. Petersburg meeting with the president of Russia, President Vladimir Putin, that's of Ukraine. And President Putin has said that his country will offer preferential loans to enable African companies buy industrial goods from the European country and enjoy after-sales services. He also said that his government was devising a leasing mechanism tailored for Africa, and that Russian Agency for Exports, Credit and Investment Insurance would provide insurance for the planned preferential loans. Russia has also promised to look into a visa waiver for African countries. We've also heard of free grain promise. A whole lot of promises now. But just as I said, in Russia invasion with Olumide Macaulay earlier, when something seems to be too good, you really need to look at the fine print before you delve into it. Let's have Professor Akpan Ekwo, a professor of economics and public policy at the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom, so to help us look at the fine print of this. It sounds too good to be true for me, but I don't know. He's a professor. He will see what I cannot see. Prof, good morning, sir.
Good morning, thank you.
So,
for having me.
Yeah, we have a lot of promises from Russia, but you know, when it comes to President Putin, I believe we should look very well. So, free grain, write-off of debts, visa waiver. This is a whole lot to promise Africans. I wonder what Russia has to gain in this.
Thank you very much. I think it's, I don't know what word to use, rather embarrassing each time African leaders go to these countries like the recent Africa-Russia summit. They had a first summit. We don't know the outcome. This one, I think Russia is trying to save face. You know, because of the Ukraine-Russian war. If you can recollect, some Africans went to Russia to try to seek peace. And in my view, it just snubbed them. And now in this summit, it's promising heaven and hell. As you said, it's too good to be true. We have to be very careful. If they want to help Africa, they should not have backed out of the grain deal, where they've blocked the passage in the Black Sea. So I think this is have to be examined properly. When they put us on the table, when you look at it, if you look at the Russian loan to Africa or the debt, it's not much. So I think that it's just an attempt to try to save face or win some partners, since Europe and America are supporting Ukraine, the war, and they just want to save face. So I think Africa should be very, very careful. And again, what's rather embarrassing is that each time these countries like Russia call African countries, we just go there, capping on as if we are going to beg. The last summit, I think 47 or 49 countries attended, this time 17. Is reducing, but in terms of delegation, there was a substantial number. So I think we shouldn't take those so-called goodies seriously, because it's just an attempt to win the support of Africa. Right now, I think, if I can recollect, only South Africa is supporting Russia openly in the Ukraine-Russian war. And don't forget that Russia itself needs more bases in Africa, so we have to be very, very careful. So for me, I don't take the so-called goodies from Russia. Remember, this is not the old Soviet Union, where we could say that, oh, there were two blocs fighting, and so since the old Soviet Union was backing our liberation movements at that time, we should now have sympathy for the non-Russia. So I think we need to be extremely careful. I think, taking it to a pinch of salt, that these goodies are not really what they look like. And I hope each country will examine it properly. And the other issue is that Africa, at least the AU itself, they should, as a bloc, examine what they really want from Russia. Each time they call them, they go, each country goes and it's like maybe on scholarship, but that's not enough reason for us just to completely dive into what Russia is trying to offer. We have to examine it carefully. And again, in my view, this is also an opportunity for African countries, especially the ones who are agrarian. We need to think of how to enlarge their agriculture and produce grain for themselves and export. Rather than each time we seek to import these things from other countries. So when there's a war, you seize the opportunity to make sure that you become self-sufficient in those products that you were either to importing. So I think that I don't support all these summits from Russia, African summit, and other summits being called. It's like an attempt to recolonize the continent again. These are my views for now, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. I do hope that our leaders have listened and are listening and will obviously look closely. And as Prof said, I mean, why should one country be ordering a whole continent and then we all go flocking there? It's something we should really look at. Thank you, Prof. Professor of Economics and Public Policy at the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Professor Akpan Ekpo.
Thank you.